We're at the last stop of this 2021-22 NBA season. We now know the two best teams that will compete for the 2022 NBA championship. Last night, the Boston Celtics beat the Miami Heat in Game 7 to advance to the NBA Finals. This was a very tough series. Players in and out of the lineup because of injuries. Boston lost 2 of their 3 home games, yet still managed to win the series on the road against the Heat. All props to Jimmy Butler for carrying the Miami Heat this far. Bam Adebayo showed up for a game or two, and so did others, but man, Jimmy Butler was the reason the Heat got even this far. Boston returns to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2010. On the other side, the Warriors' road to the Finals was a bit quicker. They managed to beat the Mavericks in 5 games. As fabulous as this Dallas team was at beating the odds against them, and they really had a great season, I think this series was quite predictable. I had the Warriors going back to the NBA Finals, and I'm sure most others did as well. The Warriors returned to the NBA Finals in the first season back with Klay Thompson, who missed the previous 2 with bad injuries. When you really look at these two teams, you can surely say that it's appropriate that both are in the NBA Finals. And if you look way back in the history of the NBA, this will be a rematch of the 1964 NBA Finals, just a mere 58 years later. Back then, the San Francisco Warriors lost to the Celtics in 5 games. So, who have been the top playoff performers for the Celtics? No real surprises here. Jason Tatum. He's averaging 27, 7, and 6. He's had some bad nights, but overall he's been excellent for the Celtics. Jaylen Brown is averaging 23, 7, and 4. He's had some really unbelievable performances during these playoffs. So this duo, I think you can count on them to deliver in the finals as well. Al Horford, my god, has he found the fountain of youth. While his offensive output game by game is rather colorful, he rebounds, defends, and is there when it matters. He averages 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists for the playoffs, and maybe even more importantly, shoots 43% from the 3. So he stretches out the floor quite nicely. Can't forget about Marcus Smart, the Defensive Player of the Year. He's been tough as nails. He's been battling injuries but still shows up. He's averaging 15, 5, and 5 while providing the best defense there is to offer. Other players have shown up in big moments as well. Grant and Robert Williams, Derek White and Peyton Pritchard all have filled up their roles nicely and been there if the other guy can go. So this team goes 9 deep if necessary, and what the heck, throw in Daniel Theis as well. He can surprise you once in a while. Speaking of being deep, what about the Warriors? Let's start with their original core 3. During these playoffs, Steph has been their best scorer with 26 points per game, and so far he's been quiet from the 3, shooting just 38%. For normal people, this percentage would be awesome, but not for Steph. Klay Thompson averages 20 points on 40% from the 3, and boy, he's still that magical. When he heats up, it's game over. And Draymond, as usual, is overall very valuable. He defends and averages 9, 7, and 6. Jordan Poole has become the third splash brother, 18 points and 5 assists per game, 39% from the 3. Andrew Wiggins has found a great role with the Warriors. He's been excellent, 16 and 7 and 35% from the 3. Kevon Looney, 6 points and 8 rebounds per game, but when you need a big rebounding night, boy is he the one to step up. Otto Porter Jr., Gary Payton II could be tasting some finals as well. And I haven't yet mentioned Jonathan Kuminga, the young Warriors talent who has barely played but somehow averages 7 points in just 10 minutes per game. What about the old vet Andre Iguodala, who's not what he once was obviously, but I think still has some good games left in him? So both teams are quite deep, with great coaches. If anything, I would go with Steve Kerr in the coaches department just because he has more experience in championships under his belt, but Ime Udoka has done a fantastic job as well. Golden State loves to play small, but in this series they might have to go a bit bigger. The Celtics are tall, and they can throw plenty of big men at Golden State. Against Dallas, it wasn't much of a problem. First of all, Dallas can't go that big, and secondly, the game plan itself revolves around Luka Doncic. Boston isn't so one superstar centered. Boston can go big if needed, and all of their big men can shoot threes. The height advantage could be crucial in the battle for rebounds, and if the Warriors put in Looney, that's where the spacing problems start, because he just doesn't shoot threes. So how much Boston is able to play big will be important in this series. Can Steph Curry heat up a bit? As I said, he just hasn't really been himself these playoffs. It would be a nightmare for Boston if Curry suddenly starts to make threes at like a 45% clip. That just changes the whole outlook for the series dramatically. Let's not forget about scorers on Boston's side. Someone will have to guard Tatum and Brown. My guess, it's Draymond and Wiggins. To me, Boston is a guard short. Sure, you have the Defensive Player of the Year, but that's really not enough against Poole, Curry, and Thompson. Really, Boston has only one point guard on the roster, and that's Marcus Smart. Derek White and Peyton Pritchard can provide some valuable minutes, but they're not a match for Golden State's all-star backcourt. So if there's one real mismatch here, it's at the guard spot. Of course, Boston is not guard-oriented, but someone will have to defend Golden State's guards, and Marcus Smart can't do it by himself. I guess it's a good thing for Boston that they don't have the home court advantage during these series. They've lost 4 out of their 9 home games. Something just isn't clicking perfectly when they're at home. On the other hand, it's not like they will have it easy on the road. The Warriors haven't lost one playoff game at home during these playoffs, so the Celtics are really stuck. The Celtics also have more injury issues. Marcus Smart's not fully healthy, Robert Williams is not healthy. The Warriors are a much healthier team at this moment, and they've had a few more days of rest as well. All in all, I think the series ends in Golden State, with the Warriors hoisting the trophy once again. I'd like to say 7, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 5. The Warriors are just a better oiled machine with championship experience. I respect Boston, so I'll say that the Warriors take it in 7 games, and the dynasty days are back again. What do you think, guys? Who wins the 2022 NBA Finals? Is it a long series, or is sweep a possibility as well? Please leave your comment down below. Like, share, subscribe to the channel, and let's watch the final great series of this NBA season. Thank you very much for watching. This was Purple Prince, and I'm out.